Adults and 81% of teens in the U.S. use social media. This puts a large amount of the population at an increased risk of feeling anxious, depressed, or ill over social media use. Those who spend more time on social media experience more body image issues, higher rates of depression, anxiety, and other mental health issues. Hello everyone, I'm Elana Roy, and I will be talking about how detrimental social media is to young women. I spent 35 hours this semester completing different self-care activities while staying off of social media. Then I reflected about each activity and I rated them 1 through 10. I also researched for 35 hours about what the effects of social media are to young women. This semester, my research question was, how is social media detrimental to young women? Today, I'm going to share with you how detrimental social media is to young women and why they are on it. Then I will share my personal experience and then the negative effects of social media. Some of the activities that I completed included working out, meditating before bed, staying hydrated, reading, and limiting myself from scrolling on social media for a long period of time. So why are so many women on social media? Women are so active on social media to stay up to date with their friends, follow influencers, keep up with popular trends, and to share what they are up to. The most detrimental social media apps are TikTok and Instagram. A ton of young women are active on other apps like Facebook and Twitter as well. You might be wondering why TikTok and Instagram are the most detrimental social media apps. This is because of users altering their body image. Social media has shaped the body standards for decades now. There is a negative social comparison that comes from this, and girls always feel pressured to look good when they post. A lot of girls also feel pressured to look their best while using Snapchat, which is degrading because they are constantly criticizing how they look. Girls are shaming themselves for not looking up to their standards and what they want to look like. You can't deny that there hasn't been a time when you opened up Snapchat and told yourself that you look disgusting. This is the complete opposite of what you should think and say of yourself. The only reason you might feel like you look disgusting is because you are comparing yourself to someone that you want to look like. Here's my Instagram page, and just like me, there are a lot of young women that are posting on social media, but also comparing their posts with other women. This leads to feeling underwhelmed. So why? Women seek community and acceptance online so more than their male counterparts. They look for attention, reassurance, and affirmation from their peers. This often comes in the forms of likes, follows, and comments. Women lose self-esteem when they don't get this reassurance. This makes them question their own posts and how they think people view them. If the post doesn't get enough likes or comments, it makes them question their validation. Now I'm going to share with you my own personal experience. Being a young woman, I've always been on social media to stay up to date with the latest trends and be a part of them. I use social media from everything from finding a good workout, finding a new recipe, finding new clothes, and following influencers. I knew I wanted to continue with this project when I realized how much I use social media. I always found a way to take time out of my day and go to the gym, but I wanted to experience and challenge myself to complete more self-care activities that I wouldn't normally do. I've never realized how much more you can do without wasting time on social media. It takes so much away from you and consumes so much mental health. For me, I was always comparing myself to others on social media and wouldn't realize how grateful I should be for what I actually have. There is someone that is always going to be better than you, but that is not important. What is important is being happy with yourself and taking care of yourself every day and being able to focus on yourself individually. That is why I focused on myself and self-care for 35 hours this semester. When I took a social media cleanse for a day, I felt so much better and had so much more time in the day to take care of myself. I could focus on myself and things around me and take time to complete self-care. I noticed that I stopped comparing myself to others and didn't experience FOMO, which is fear of missing out. With completing self-care activities like meditating and reading, I didn't feel as stressed out. My physical and mental health improved as well as my self-esteem. This didn't happen in one day and took some time to feel changes. For my community connection hours, I joined a yoga class here at the high school period 1. I never expected to participate in yoga, but reflecting back, I will definitely try this again. It was a great way to feel relaxed and be in a good state of mind before continuing my day. I know that I wasn't a flexible person at all, which made me nervous, but I had nothing to worry about and went along with the class. Yoga can help you gain something that you never thought you had. I definitely am going to try to continue self-care and challenge myself to stay off of social media as much as I can. The positive impacts are so worth the challenge. I'm going to continue completing self-care activities and keep them integrated into my daily routine. Self-care is an extremely important part of life that gets overlooked a lot. Some people might not have time for it, but that is when you need to make it happen. Self-care eliminates stress, anxiety, depression, and increases happiness, which is the opposite of what social media does. It helps you individually adapt to changes, build stronger relationships with people, and improves physical health as well as mental health. Some activities that I completed include reading, meditating before bed, listening to podcasts, and balancing my schedule. These 4 simple additions to my day have had a big impact on my personal well-being and are worth setting aside time for to continue doing. Some ways to incorporate self-care into your daily routines include creating a schedule, brainstorming ideas of what you would want to do, setting goals for yourself, reflecting about your feelings, and spending time outside. You can even start your morning with a bath or a workout. I really encourage trying to incorporate self-care into your life. When you have something to look forward to, it helps boost your mood and gets you motivated to complete the activity just by even thinking about it. Now here are the negative impacts I found during my research. Throughout my research, I found more negative than positive impacts from the use of social media every day. A report from Facebook found that 32% of teenage girls say Instagram makes them feel worse about their own bodies. According to Northeastern University, that's because this group is still developing a sense of identity. You're only consuming pictures, and you're also invited to produce pictures of yourself, says Dr. Rachel Rogers at Northeastern University. Both of those things orient you towards thinking that your appearance is a really important piece of you. It emphasizes that appearance is a really important part of self-worth. Young women are always constantly comparing themselves on all different social media platforms. They care so much about what they look like in pictures they post and what people will think of them. This causes their confidence to decrease tremendously and for them to gain body image issues. There are so many unrealistic pictures that are posted on the internet that are photoshopped or edited with filters. This can create unrealistic expectations and perpetuate harmful beauty standards. They always want to look perfect, but what even is perfect? As long as you are comfortable and happy with yourself, that is all what matters. Women really like when they see an influencer show who they really are because they realize that not everyone is perfect and that they can relate to them. That's when they start to follow them for especially inspiration. For example, you all may know Alex Earle, who never became viral on TikTok until she began sharing her Accutane journey and how did she not have the best skin. Women really saw her being vulnerable, and it really appealed to them since they could relate and they felt like they were in the same position as her. She inspired millions of women across the world and gained a lot of popularity from showing her real self. You can look like a completely different person on social media than in real life. Young women need to be more mindful of the content they are looking at. Self-worth is not determined by likes, comments, or followers. Girls are more conscious that boys on the influence social media has on them. One study found that 75% of girls consider themselves to be very or extremely influenced by TVs or movies when it comes to how they look, compared to 45% for boys. To sum up, I hope you can all take away how important self-care is to the human body and all the positive benefits it brings. There are so many other ways to be happy than being on social media. Just think about all the little things that you could have missed out on just by endlessly scrolling through social media. Social media is so detrimental to young women that I hope you get yourselves to stop using it as much all around and to implement self-care into your daily routines. Thank you. Any questions? Yes.
What was your favorite self-care activity you did?
Probably like meditating before bed. It like really helped me like be able to fall asleep faster. Yep.
Do you listen to music or something when you meditate, or just kind of like let your mind be free?
One of the apps that I used, it like had like meditation like music. It was just like classical like music kind of. Anything else?
Nice job.
Okay.